Hello and welcome to Collector RC. This is a video of us driving some 24s. We're retesting. You kind of seen the video before of parts of our course. This is we had to change some things and retesting, and then we have an additional part to our course, or another section to our course that we built that we're going to show in this video as well. So this basically the whole video is us just driving 24s on a course. You'll see, obviously, in the very beginning, you saw there's kind of some driving techniques that didn't work. We all make mistakes, right? So a lot of this, what you're seeing, we have our own Sorka kind of style 24 rules that we're going to implement when we finish, and then when we also open this to the public. That is our main goal. We still have a lot to do before we're close to that. We have progressed quite a bit on the courses. As you can see, this is the first section. This is actually where you're going to be starting. There's a part in the beginning that we didn't get a chance to show here, but this is basically this is where you'll be starting. The course altogether will probably take you anywhere between an hour or 30 minutes to 45 minutes, depending. If you really want to, pay attention to the details and that kind of stuff, it could take you up to an hour. So they'll be pretty close, around 200. Our goal is 200 gates. There is a pit stop in the middle where you'll be, in between all the courses, you'll pull up to like a gas station, convenience store, or garage / kind of a building, and you'll pull your 24 in. You don't see it in this video, but you'll pull your 24 into the garage, and then you'll lift. There's a lid on top, so you'll lift the lid. You'll pull your 24 out, do a battery swap, maintenance, whatever you have. There'll be a table where kind of like a workbench where you'll have your tools that you brought with you, kind of already set aside for your little work area, and then you'll put your 24 back in, you'll drive out, and your time will restart. So during that time, your time will be paused for the whole course. We are doing a timed thing, but a lot of it's going to come down to, it will pretty much come down to points. Time is just in case there's like tiebreakers and that kind of stuff. And plus, people want to know how fast and see if they get better at it. So there are, as you'll see on the other section of this video, when we get to it, there's going to be areas where you'll have unlimited reversing. It's just little platforms. It's because the angles you'll be taking are going to be so sharp because we're trying to pack in so much into these courses. So you'll see here, they'll be painted blue, and you can see some blue on some areas, but it's because that was on the parts of a pallet that we took apart. And so far, everything we've done is pretty difficult. It's pretty intense. You got to look closely, stare, kind of watch what you're doing. Especially like this is the beginning. So this part of the course is actually this will be towards the end. And at the end of this, if you go ahead and watch all the way towards the end, I think past we'll probably put it a little bit earlier. There'll be photos of where this is going to end up taking you. So it's our treehouse course. And this is the Cuz, by the way, driving. This is his 24. You'll see the other 24s here in a minute. But yeah, so the platform he just came off of, that will be a blue platform, which will be unlimited reversing. So you'll have unlimited opportunity to get your angle right and to get on there. As soon as you leave that platform, your unlimited reverses, go away. And if I remember right, it's like a -1 or a +1 or whatever for your for each time you reverse. And there'll be a lot of that. So we're also going to I'm in the process right now of creating or designing our own it's like a special kind of a badge or kind of a coin type deal, 3D printed type thing, for anybody that ever has managed to be able to complete the course with our 24. It doesn't have to be successfully. You just have to be able to complete the course with the 24 you started with. And then you'll receive kind of like a little badge of honor type deal. We will have trophies and like prizes for when we start doing the comps, because it's just more fun when you're trying to win something, It won't be anything like super expensive, but it'll be something cool. Okay, so now you're going to see, of course, the new Bronco. We're testing the spacers on it right now for the shocks, and you'll see as soon as he gets on these rocks here, and that's little bro driving the Bronco. We're working on it. It's a little they work. They hold the heavy body pretty well, but it makes the shocks too bouncy, and you'll kind of see that. You can already see it now. But surprisingly, that it's basically stock. It's got the different tires on it, and that's that's it. There's no weight, none of that besides what you get in the box. And it did pretty well on this, especially on this. This is probably one of the tougher of all the courses or sections. Not this section, but this whole ending part is probably will be the toughest of the whole 24 course when we're done. And of course, that's me driving. You guys have seen this 24 quite a bit. It's definitely was originally the blue Jeep. What we started our 24 videos and upgrades. I think we started off with home upgrades first, and then it went into store bought or bought and upgrades. And now that 24, with the exception of the battery tray and the links, is fully upgraded. And electronics. It has an upgraded servo, the Emax, but it doesn't have. It has stock electronic or ESC and motor. Same with the green Jeep there. I think the ESC he changed out for the newer the version 2. It makes it a little bit smoother. The version 2 is definitely better than the first ESC that they produced. The motor's the same. You will burn out your motor over time. Especially if you're doing stuff like this, they will burn out. If it's for the stock motors. Sometimes you get ones that'll last a long time. Sometimes you get ones that just won't. They'll go out very quickly. A lot of it depends on when you get into a point where it's overheating. So when you get into a section where you're having a really hard time, or a tire gets stuck, maybe you didn't see it, or you have a lot of weight on it and you're getting stuck somewhere and you're applying that motor over and over again, especially at a high rate of speed, it's going to overheat it and that will burn it a lot quicker. So that's why sometimes the motors will burn faster, and plus, sometimes they'll come dirty, really, and sometimes that kind of makes it burn up a little bit faster. So this is the newer section that we designed, probably more recently. It's actually gone further than this. And like I said, we'll have a couple photos of towards the end that will show. I believe some parts where we're at, kind of sneak peek, and then we'll continue to keep doing videos showing you all the parts of the course, and then obviously at the end when we're totally done, we'll do a full-on little mini comp and record all of that. It'd be a lot of fun to do, and that was one of our things, kind of with doing YouTube, is that one of the things we really like to do is on the back, in the backgrounds or whatever, when we're sitting there just kind of hanging out and playing with the RC cars inside, kind of a deal. Especially the 24s, which is totally capable. We'd watch, YouTube like competition type style things, and kind of the older stuff that's a little harder to find nowadays. You don't see a lot as much as you used to. But we liked about it is it kind of showed like, oh, I think I can do that, and you start kind of learning different driving techniques, especially for the newer RC drivers. There is a point in this where I tell little bro, because I think I'm recording right now, and I tell him that I warned him there's a piece of grass in the back of his Bronco. And so, yeah, a lot of this is kind of like, that's a really tough section, by the way, right there. I don't do so well either, you'll see coming up here. But the cuz actually had a problem there too. You didn't see it on video. But we still need to. This is kind of like the rough. You can see like there's a stick there sticking out. We obviously can't have that, especially we have a little one running around. That's dangerous. So we fixed some of those already, and there's areas that are going to be painted. Like this here will be a blue platform. We have lights kind of stuff to still do. The one area that we were just in that I'm leaving right now in this course is already lit up. It's got a bunch of the solar lights all over in it. But we need to beautify, kind of add that whole scale realism and make it look neater. I have right now my 24. I mean, I love it. It runs really well. I did a friendly comp recently. I did really well. I was keeping track of my reverses. Apparently, they didn't count the reverses in that, but that's okay. I kept them really low, like really low. I think I hit a cone on accident. Nerves. But no tips, no slides, no. It pretty much can crawl up anything, and it did really well. The only issue I think I'm having now is that I want more steering radius, and so I think I'm going to go back to. I don't know if you remember, if you guys for the older subscribers, if you remember in the blue Jeep, I had the Tower Pro in there. That was by far the best turning radius this thing's ever had. The Emax servo is pretty good, but it's a little bit more for the strength, but it seems to still be a little bit limited. So I just need more turning radius, and so obviously, we do a lot of RC stuff with all sorts of different size RCs, and yeah, you see, the poor Bronco took a spill there. But we tested a lot of different things, and a lot of times sometimes it comes down to us having to invent a way to hold it, like the rest of us, like some of you have to do, I'm sure, at some point. If not, the more you get into this hobby, you'll eventually do something where you have to, invent something, whether it be temporary or permanent, it doesn't matter. It's kind of what we had to do with the Tower Pro. There wasn't really a 3D print designed for it yet, and at the time I don't think we had a 3D printer. So this time around I'm gonna do a 3D print mount for it, because the way it sticks to the struts in the front can be a little tricky, and on sizing to make sure it's space. So okay, so that is pretty much the wrap. Here's some photos of the course that you saw in the video, and then you'll see a couple new photos. Also the pit stop right before it was completed. There you go. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, if you like what you see and you want to continue to keep seeing what we're doing, our progression of our RC life and adventures, go ahead and hit that bell and check out all the stuff we're going to do. And if you like what you're seeing now, go ahead and hit that like button. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.